My New Red Car by David Minty. Narrated by Tom Sainsbury. Page 1. Can I show you my new car? It's a red one, says a little yellow box holding a key. Sure, says his friend. He's also a yellow box and he's got glasses on. It's a sunny day, there's a few clouds, there's a kind of Christmas tree. Page 2. Where is your car? Said the one with the goggles. I parked it right here, I'm sure I did, said the other one with the key. He's got a red cape, I should have probably said that. There's a stop sign beside them that's kind of been smashed. This car is red. Is it yours perhaps? That's the guy with the goggles, but he's lifted the goggles up now. No, I couldn't fit into that, says the one with the cape. And he's referring to a flattened red car that's like squashed. The ground's kind of cracked and there's broken glass everywhere. Next page. Is that your red car up there? Says the guy with the goggles. No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I parked mine on the ground. They're looking at a car that's kind of been crashed into the roof of quite a small house, like a unit. There's a broken tree in the distance. Next page. How about this red car, says the guy with the goggles, pointing to a car that's kind of been bitten in half, I want to say. And there's like tyres scattered across in the distance. No, says the guy with the key. My car has wheels. And behind him, there's a creature watching them, I think, with two eyes, a green creature. Next page. Wow, is that your red car? Says the guy with the goggles. No, my car is an electric, says the guy with the cape. And they're both looking at a car that's somehow caught up in power lines. And it's kind of been electrocuted and it's smashed glass as well. Lots of smashed glass. This car is like a barbecue. Is it yours? Says the guy with the goggles. He's always the one asking. And he's got a stick with like a sausage on it and he's kind of cooking it in the flames. So the car they're looking at now is all smashed, but it's like on fire and there's lots of billowing smoke. No, says the guy with the cape. My car doesn't cook sausages. Next page. Is this your new red car? Says the guy with the goggles, but he's kind of hidden, he's kind of surrounded by it, he's kind of in the middle of one of the Christmas trees, and the tree is like jammed into the car. No, says the guy with the cape. My car doesn't have a tree growing out of it, though it doesn't really look like it's growing out of it. It looks like it's been forced into it, but that's by the by. Next page. What about that red car? Above the cloud, says the guy with the goggles. No, my car doesn't fly. Now, Goggles guy's pointing to a car that's kind of been thrown into the sky. And behind the hill that they're on, it looks like there's another hill, but I've got suspicions that maybe it's not. Next page. Could this be your new car? Says Goggles guy. No, says the guy with the cape. This car is blue, my car is red, and his eyes and mouth are really just showing his disdain. Like he's like, I'm over this now. I mean, how could you get the colour wrong unless Goggles guy is colourblind? And the blue car is like jammed, really rammed into a street lamp and there's broken glass everywhere. Next page. Is this your new red car? Says the guy with the goggles. And he's controlling a little boat, a little power boat. And the other guy's like, no, my car doesn't float. And he's getting fed up. I think he's getting completely fed up, to be honest. Next page. Maybe you imagined having the car and it never really existed, says Goggles guy. Perhaps, but that doesn't explain why I have this key, says the cape guy. And they're both in a tree now, kind of like a lookout. And behind them is two huge eyes belonging to something green. Next page. Hey, look over there. What's that thing? Says Goggles guy. And the guy with the cape's like got a little round mouth and he's like, I don't know. And they're both pointing to like this big green creature and it's clearly got a car stuck in its throat. Next page. They're both screaming,
It's a greedy grabber.
And the greedy grabber is coming at them with his mouth wide open. Next page. They're both falling down like the esophagus, like the greedy grabber's throat. But the guy with the key is still happy because he's like, and there's my new red car. So he's found his car finally. The greedy grabber had eaten it. Goodbye, greedy grabber. And they're coming out of the greedy grabber's bum. So they've been all through his digestive tract and have come out the other side, and they're all covered in poo, so they're brown. Next page. So, what do you think? Says the guy with the cape. They're both in the car now. Think of what? Says Goggles Guy. My new red car, says the guy with the cape. Well, it's a bit smelly, says the Goggles Guy, clearly referencing the poo. And then the final page, the guy with the cape who's got the new red car is obviously fed up with Goggles Guy and has just left him on the side of the road and driven off. And the guy with the goggles is a bit surprised and probably a bit stinky as well. And so that was My New Red Car by David Minty, narrated by Tom Sainsbury. Thanks for listening.